too.
Reading the news, it was number 135 in the chat. There's absolutely nobody. Again.
Surprise.
I'm so surprised.
They'll come in eventually.
Frenzy shoppers scramble for clothes after every item drops to 1p in mega sale. Hundreds of excited shoppers emptied the shop within 5 minutes in the Stolitsa shopping center in foreign southwestern Russia. Jesus. You can't blame them though if everything's 1p.
I'm guessing someone has to have gotten hurt in that.
Oh yeah, easily. How are they? Fucking definitely still got hurt of that. Hundreds of shoppers scramble for clothes when the price of items in a mega store dropped to just 1p. And emptied the shop within just 5 minutes. Shocking footage shows the frenzied shoppers from whipping clothes from each other's hands as they desperately tried to bag themselves a bargain at the Stolitsa shopping center in foreign southwest Russia. The weekday sale prompted long queues outside the shop before it even opened its doors. So it's like the Russian Boxing Day or Black Friday then, basically. Only much cheaper.
Sounds like. Oh, and hello, RBA. Hello from Front Royal.
Despite the crazy scene, the shop had proposed to hold similar sales in the coming days. How the fuck are they actually supposed to get a profit if they're doing shit like that?
I don't know. Maybe it was more about getting rid of. Maybe it was more about getting rid of old. Maybe it's more about getting old stuff out than new stuff in.
I don't blame you. The clip was shared on social media when it was viewed a staggering 8,000 times in one day. At one point in the footage, a female shopper is seen grabbing clothes from a woman's hand as she scrambles on her knees on the floor. A poster accompanying the clip with this message: do you think this is normal behavior? No, but then having all your clothes at 1p isn't normal behavior. And RBA's at the airport waiting for his flight.
Saginaw. I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, where is that?
I have no idea. I'll assume Saginaw.
In what state?
I know there's a Saginaw, Michigan, but I don't know if it has an airport.
Yeah, it's in Michigan.
Okay.
Online users were left shocked at the behavior of the shoppers. I'm not. It's like it's Russians and you made things cheap. It's not really that shocking, to be honest with you. World Full of Beauty said this is terrible, Conrad. Is this life today or just terrible education? People are throwing away their dignity for rags. While Fallen wrote, absolutely inappropriate behavior. The scenes are so disgusting, I feel ashamed. Oh, yeah, that's what I mean.
So Black Friday is a very good comparison then. Like Black Friday being where people get trampled to death to save $5 off of a TV they didn't need to begin with.
Yeah, and Boxing Day as well.
Just saying. Yeah.
And Boxing Day sales over here. Not a comparison.
Yeah, people getting trampled to death, save $5 on TV they didn't need anyway.
I feel sorry for all the workers that have to put up with that shit.
I don't know if it's the same thing over in Canada, but because I know Canada has Boxing Day as well, but I don't know if they have sales and stuff.
I don't think they have Boxing Day, but it's Black Friday.
No, Canada has Boxing Day. That's when they also have sales over there as well.
Gotcha.
Black Russian Friday? I haven't had a Black Russian, but I'll take one on Friday. I'm going to see myself out now.
You probably should. Canada has Boxing Day sales, and Canadians go down to America for Black Friday. Do you know what's weird? We have Black Friday over here, which doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Why is that a thing over here?
I don't know, especially considering Black Friday in the U.S. is after Thanksgiving, American holiday.
Yeah, it's a day off. It makes sense to have it then because it's a day off and it's pretty close to Christmas.
Yeah.
Anyway, BBC education film that claims there are more than 100 gender identities is blasted as nonsense and accused of confusing primary school children. So yeah, if you live in the UK, this is one of the reasons why we shouldn't pay our fucking TV license for the BBC. BBC film that claimed there are more than 100 gender identities has been blasted as nonsense and accused of confusing primary school children. Yeah, I don't blame it for confusing them because it fucking confuses me. BBC released a series of 9 films that support physical, social, and health education curriculum in schools. And the short films are shown in classrooms to pupils aged between 9 and 12 and are used to explore controversial topics such as sex and body image. Black Friday is when retail starts operating in the black.
Yeah, they have it's the unofficial kickoff of Christmas shopping season. Usually, up until that point, stores operate into the red, and Black Friday was named because it brings them back into the black, back to where they're profitable, to where all their profit for the year is actually made past that.
In one video titled Identity, Understanding Sexual and Gender Identities, a young boy asked, what are the different gender identities? The teacher on screen, Kate Daniels, then says, we know that we've got male and female, but there are over 100, if not more, gender identities now. Yeah, of course there is. TC. Ms. Daniels then goes on to explain that some people are bigender and so feel as though they are 2 genders at once. As well as some people are genderqueer and don't want to feel anything in particular. I thought that was non-binary. What am I wrong here? I'm not surprised it confuses young kids, but it fucking confuses me.
Mm-hmm. Whatever happened to, do you have an innie or an outie?
Here's the thing, if you have a penis, you're a woman. If you have a penis, you're a man. If you have a vagina, you're a woman. There you go. It's not that hard.
And then if you really want to get any more technical about that, okay, fine. If you have a penis and you want to play with the other genitalia, you're straight. If you want to play with the same genitalia that you have, you're gay. If you like to play with both, you're bi. That's it. Have fun.
Pretty much, yeah. No, there we go. Yeah, popping up, Audi sucked.
By the way, RVA.
Fuck German. Is that fuck German
RVA,
cars or fun German cars? And there you go.
Audi sucked working on fucking. RVA. Yeah, I was gonna say RVA. The reason I brought up it being the day after Thanksgiving is that's when the Black Friday sales occur in America.
I think he's Canadian, isn't he?
Called a misspeak.
Isn't he Canadian?
What? Thanksgiving?
No, RVA.
Thanksgiving?
No, RVA.
No. No.
I don't know.
No. We'll just say he's close to where some of us live. So
He lives in Virginia. I'm not doxing him. That's loosely what he just said in there. He says he's Virginian.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's feared the advice that there are more than 100 genders will cause confusion as increasingly more children are seeking to change their gender identity. Well, they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Between 2017 and 2018, 2,519 young people were referred to the Gender Development Service at Tavistock and Port in the NHS Foundation Trust in London. Just being a smart ass, Audis are weird unless you're a pregnant woman. It's like the button on a turkey to let you know when the baby's ready.
The pop-up timer.
Yeah, you've either got a fucking... You've either got an innie or you got a shit doctor.
I was gonna say, well, as far as belly button's innie the whole time. She was pregnant, so
currently 6 genders are officially recognized by the Royal College of General Practitioners, which represents those who often are the first point of contact to people questioning their identity. These 6 are male, female, gender neutral, non-binary, gender fluid, and gender queer. Okay. A foundation called Transgender Trend represents families who are concerned about the surge in diagnosing young children as transgender. Founder Stephanie Davis said, I said this is made up nonsense. People are free to identify as anything they like, but that does not change the reality that there are only 2 sexes. Oh,
if I identify as a millionaire, it doesn't give me any more money.
You fucking transphobic bigot, you.
I don't care. I don't care if that's what you identify as. You still don't need to say that.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if you sit there and say, "Oh, I identify as an aardvark." Sorry that you can't. You still can't force me to sit there and say, "Wow, what a big nose you have."
She went on to say that this new advice will inevitably confuse children into believing they can choose their biological sex. Well, yeah, it already has. Can I identify as tax exemption? And obviously I bought a slate, but hopefully that goes well. Up until 2015, Facebook offered 71 gender options for those signing up to the social media platform. The platform has now decided to scale down the choice to male, female, or write your own description. So I do think my gender could be a chair if I wanted it to be. The teacher presenting the film's Kate Daniels, herself a primary school teacher for 10 years. In the introduction to the series, she explains the topics are vital to tackle. Are done otherwise at the risk that children will go online and come across nasty and inappropriate material. Yeah, because brainwashing children into believing there's 100 different genders is totally appropriate, isn't it? There's an idea for you. A spokeswoman for the BBC said the Big Talk series was contributed by more than 50 independent experts and professionals and is intended to be used by teachers within the space of a classroom to promote further conversation with pupils on the topics raised. Yeah, so when you do that, look what happens. Look what happens when I got that boy in Scotland and got kicked out of his class, got kicked out of his school because he said there was only 2 genders. Look what happened to him.
And it was so wrong how they did that to him too.
Yep.
They didn't kick him out until the scrutiny died down.
Pretty much. I wonder who hit the dislike button. See, that's been bothering me for a while, that. Who the fuck's been disliking these streams? It doesn't bother me that it has a dislike. I just want to know who the fucking hell the person that dislikes it is. Because I know it's the same person all the time. Yeah, dislike who? The dislike button on my stream, Cryptic.
Hello, Cryptic.
Hello, Cryptic.
Hair loss,
Da-da-da-da.
What does hair loss mean?
It means you're going bald.
No, but good thing just says hair loss, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Protesters wearing Make Hong Kong Great Again hats to ask Donald Trump to help. Demonstrators in Hong Kong marched to the U.S. Embassy today, waving U.S. flags and wearing Make Hong Kong Great Again hats to appeal to Donald Trump. Sad thing about this is, though, is that it won't happen. Trump's not going to do it.
This is not something Donald Trump can get involved in.
No, because if he does, he risks war with China. In fact, more likely going to be war with China, and then that's going to pretty much wreck his chances of being president again. So
I don't know. I don't know with how much the left has been beating the drums about war. You know.
Yeah, but then you know what's going to happen if war happens with China. If the US goes to war with China, what's going to happen is that they're then going to switch on that and say, "Oh, Trump's a warmonger and stuff," aren't they?
Yeah.
It wouldn't shock me. Thousands asked the UN president to liberate their city as they press for more democratic freedom in the semi-autonomous Chinese territory. I fully support them. Here's the thing: no outsider is going to help you because nobody wants to mess with China. Nobody.
They're probably going to have to fight for their freedom to become a country, And then China's
Yep.
still not going to recognize it.
Now look at Taiwan. Look what happened with Taiwan.
China's bullshit. They don't even follow the copyright rules. Those bastards.
Yeah, that's because China's like the place of. If you want something ripped off, it's in China. What are you charging up?
Changing it up.
And
Well, the reason China doesn't follow any of the patents or copyright rules or anything like that is because Bill Clinton gave them the pass to.
Well, someone needs to take it away from them.
That is true.
some of them are not good. Apparently, there was an Apple store in China somewhere where people genuinely thought they worked in a genuine Apple store. They could
Well,
not
I mean,
tell
they're genuine Apple factories, that make the
Yeah, but-
iPhones, complete with nets for people who try to kill themselves.
Yeah, this one was a fake one. The people who worked
Yeah.
there genuinely thought it was real.
Nice.
I
your
need
mum's
to
run
put
out
my
of glue.
finger on the mute button more often.
And your mum's run out
I
of
Miss
glue, Mom.
Thunder. What was she saying? No more glue?
I'm maybe playing with Oliver's glue. Leave me alone.
You've been sniffing the glue, haven't you?
No. One second.
Yeah, those who took
Thunder
part in
ate paste as a child. We knew it.
those who took part in a park in central Hong Kong and chanted, "Resist Beijing, liberate Hong Kong." Borrowing the president's campaign-winning MAGA slogan, demonstrators also wore masks and gallery posters with Mr. Trump's face on. And the words, "President Trump, please liberate Hong Kong." Riot police kept watch as they began their march to the nearby U.S. Embassy. Organizer Panzer Khan. There you go.
That those chants are nice and well, but I'm sorry, the best statement ever has been said, and you can't top it. Just that one guy going, "Don't trust China, China asshole."
Yeah, basically.
You can't beat that.
Organizer Panzer Khan said Hong Kong is at the forefront of the battle against the totalitarian regime of China. Please support us in our fight. Well, I'm afraid to say, Mr. Panzer Khan, is not going to happen. I mean, it sucks, but he's not going to do it. He doesn't want war with China. Hong Kong has been rocked by a summer of unrest kicked off by a proposed law that would allow criminal suspects to be sent to mainland China for trial. Many saw the extradition bill as a glaring example of the Chinese territories eroding autonomy since the former British colony was returned to China in 1997. Hong Kong was supposed to essentially run itself for 50 years. And then after that, nobody knows what's going to happen. But I seem China's
that's up in like 1930 or 2036, isn't it?
Yeah. Hong Kong's government proposed last week to withdraw the bill, an early demand of the protesters that has failed to appease the demonstrators who have widened their demands to include other issues such as greater democracy. The unrest has become the biggest challenge to Beijing's rule since Hong Kong's return from Britain. Beijing and an entirely state-controlled media portray the protest as an effort by criminals to split the territory from China backed by hostile foreigners. Protesters today urged Washington to pass a bill known as the Hong Kong Democratic and Human Rights Act to support their cause. It's not going to happen. The bill proposes sanctions against Hong Kong and Chinese officials found to suppress democracy and human rights in the city, and could also affect Hong Kong's preferential trade status with the US. I think I'm pretty sure Hong Kong signs its own trade deals anyway.
I think they do. Yeah.
The US State Department said in a travel advisory on Friday that Beijing has undertaken a propaganda campaign falsely accusing the US of fomenting unrest in Hong Kong. It said American citizens and embassy staff have been the target of propaganda and have urged them to exercise increased caution. Some politicians have spoken out strongly in support of Hong Kong protesters and voiced concern about the potential for a brutal crackdown by China. Mr. Trump, however, has indicated that the US would stay out of matters concerning matters he considers to be between Hong Kong and China. I think for his own political career, this will be the best to do. He said he believes that the trade war with China is making Beijing tread carefully. While violent clashes broke out between protesters and police at several train stations. Hopefully Hong Kong can sort of shit out, but don't see it happening though. So where the fuck's all my viewers going? Is anyone actually still here?
Still got a few.
Yeah, a few.
There's a whole load of
You'll never get rid of me.
Oh. We'll live. TC's still here. TC's always here though. A British vegan activist is covered in blood when Spanish farmers chase her down the motorway and shoot through her car window after she freed 14 of their rabbits. Oh, that's your own fault.
Huh.
As well as when she trespassed on someone else's farm, that's her own problem. So you kind of deserve what you got, Kevin, coming to you. A British vegan activist was left covered in blood after farmers shot through her car for rescuing 14 rabbits in Spain. The Barcelona-based activist Mia, who goes on Instagram by her name Mystical Mia, posted a video on her social media showing blood on her face and legs. And I think this whole thing was faked anyway.
Probably.
You can tell it's just fake blood and stuff. And even then, even if it was real, I don't sympathize with her anyway. I'm more than 40,000.
That's what you get for trespassing.
Exactly. She told her more than 40,000 followers. She entered the rabbit farm in Garb, Osona, and rescued the animals. However, some have condemned her actions, calling her a thief and branding her an idiot.
I approve of that label put on her.
See, I think the blood to me just looks fake. It doesn't look like real blood.
She wanted to show off her legs.
It's not even like a hole or anything coming out of her face. That's definitely fake blood.
Yeah, it definitely looks like some horror movie bullshit.
Considering it's set to look like it's dripping off of her chin. how many people would let blood just drip up their chin without, just wiping it away instinctively,
There's no sign for it to come out of her. Like you heard the managed to get all over her face as well. Like
For all we know, it's one of the rabbit's blood because she killed it.
it's not real. It's not real. Yeah, it looks fake to me. There's a massive exit out on this one. Mia's claimed to have rescued 16 lives despite Catalonia police stating 14 rabbits were taken from the farm. Catalonia police said the window was likely to have been struck by a forceful object due to the impact of the glass rather than shot by a shotgun. You see, someone probably just
Yeah, I can go for that.
I think Howard probably just threw a rock at her own god or something.
It could have been a rock. I was kind of thinking about that without saying it. Most bullets, even if it's a slug, even if it's a slug or a shot from a shotgun, the glass tends to remain intact. And it gives that, when it does shatter because of a bullet hole, it's got that perfect spider web. Did you notice how some of the glass that was on the seat, there were some large chunks, some small chunks?
Yeah.
The spider web pattern would be more uniform, I think.
Activists described how the farm was extremely aggressive and resorted to strangling activists and smashing their heads with mail poles following the incident. A total of 15 activists of nationalities, including Spanish, Turkish, French, and Belgian. After the activists were asked to leave peacefully by police, Mia said they were chased down by farmers who drove up to 124 miles an hour on the motorway. Mia said we tried to lead them down the side road, but they were on our tails. They blocked us into a dead end and surrounded the car with five other farmers' cars. Another shows the confrontation between one of the farmers and the vegan activist, including Mia. The footage captures a man in a green shirt confronting an activist before he locks himself in a white van. The rebellion on the window is shouting and threatening us. We told the police who arrived after an hour. Activists were escorted to a safe place by police, but then they refused to take the protesters home, claiming they would be okay. Well, yeah, it's your own fault for storming someone else's land.
So, stupid people are stupid.
10 minutes after the police left, the car pulled by the side of the activists, and farmers shot them through the window, she claimed. Next to that, Mia said the window currently exploded in my face. The window exploded in my face, and there was a lot of blood from the glass. We are currently at the hospital waiting to go to the police station to report this crime. However, some Instagram users were quick to condemn our actions and condemned it on the page. One user said, shooting is a criminal offence, while trespassing, destructing, and stealing someone else's property isn't. What kind of logic is that? And then I commented, that's what you get for being a thief. Yeah, the most important thing is that non-human animals are safe. And far from that hellhole, I don't want this to be all about me. I just want people to know how evil farmers are. And this is how they treat humans. How can we head into care for animals? Well, you literally fucking stole from them. And the animals aren't going to treat you with kindness, are they?
I know I give everyone that breaks into the house a warm bed and a hot glass of milk. Oh, wait, no, the opposite. Kill them.
Clone just said, despite everything, I'm just happy that those 16 lives are free from harm. They make everything worth it. May has previously made a speech to the official Animal Rights March in London in August, where she described on Instagram as by far the most nerve-wracking thing she's ever done. A spokeswoman for Catalonia Police, Mossos de Foren, said on Sunday, a group of activists entered the farm in Gerb, Osana, and took 14 rabbits. When Mossos de Foren arrived to the site, activists were outside. The 14 rabbits have not been found. She added there were some farmers at the scene and there was some tension between the two groups. Mossos separated them and escorted them from the premise to avoid further conflict. Hello, English Stone. Just before 11 p.m., we were informed that one of the windows of the activist car had suffered an impact. And that the girl had injuries to her face as a result of the broken glass. The window was most likely struck by a forceful object due to the nature of the impact, rather than a shot from a shotgun. The investigation is ongoing. Yeah, I call fake on that one. Yeah, not bad yourself, Tom. And that's probably one just most people. This is literally just for my own benefit. Happy hours. What are the best times you can buy alcohol in England and Scotland? Our Sunday's different than what the time go in other stores. Well,
Daytime. The best time to buy alcohol? Daytime.
Buying booze differs across the UK, so opening times and licensing laws vary for individual stores across England and Scotland. Sundays also operate on different hours, so you've got all the information that you need across your bevy-loving country. In Scotland, you can buy alcohol between the times of 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. I've never liked that law. I thought that was rather authoritarian. Like, I should be allowed to buy alcohol whenever the fuck I want to buy alcohol. Pubs and clubs are granted, they can stay open until the wee hours if they're granted the license. There are no 24-hour alcohol sellers, unlike England and Wales. In those are the two nations, pubs generally stay open. Pubs generally open at 11 a.m. and close at 11 p.m. with some staying open later. Well, at least the pubs in Scotland stay open till 1, so there's that at least. In Scotland, you used to have to wait until 12:30 p.m. before buying alcohol rather than 10 a.m. for the rest of the week. Now it's in line with England and Wales, which is 10 a.m. That's one way you can get your cheap alcohol. Come on. Yeah, the 24-hour licensing not happening there. Very shit. Shit V3. So they didn't tell me when I can get cheap alcohol. Well, go fuck yourselves and stuff. No one's telling me can't buy alcohol 24 hours a day, unfortunately. You know, fucking sucks. Yeah. Do. Sinead O'Connor apologizes for saying she doesn't want to spend any more time with white people following a conversion to Islam. I feel like you kind of fucked up with that one, saying as you're white yourself. Sinead O'Connor has issued an apology for saying she doesn't want to spend any more time with white people following her conversion to Islam last year. In a tweet posted to her account on Sunday, the Irish singer 52 claimed he was angry and unwell. Really didn't know that, not taking the piss. That really does suck if you're old enough. And the shop was open, why the fuck not? Yeah, exactly. Fucking government. In a tweet posted to her Twitter account on Sunday, the Irish singer 52 claimed she was angry and unwell when she made the racist comment. Anastasia, her remarks were not true at the time and are not true now. Well, why the fuck did you say them then? You know, like, why say stuff like that if it's not true? Can't just backtrack now because you've got fucking people give you shit for it. And to be honest, you never should have even mentioned it. People have forgotten about it by now, but now that you mention it, it's been brought back up again. Oh well. No, she's out herself as a self-hating white person. That's all you are. The musician who was also known as Shahada DeWitt also appeared on RTE's The Late Late Show to discuss her new faith, and she reveals she's found home in Islam and realizes she's been a Muslim all my life. If that were true, you wouldn't even be allowed to be a fucking singer, would you?
I don't know. Is there really anything in Islam that says they can't be a singer?
Yeah, I feel like they're probably not allowed to work and stuff. So. In October last year, the Nothing Compares You to hitmaker sparked outrage from both Muslims and non-Muslims on Twitter when she claims she no longer wants to spend time with disgusting white people. The tweet posted by the former rock star included the hashtags "Trust me, I'm a soldier," not as fucking crazy as she looks, and "Reign of White Man over." Sinead reiterated her comments for the following month. She added, "I'm terribly sorry for about to say something. To say something is so racist I never thought my soul could ever feel it. But I truly want to spend time with white people again. If that's what non-Muslims are called. You know, I hate to tell you, Sinead, but you yourself are also white. You're fucking Irish, for fuck's sake." Hey, don't be greedy, bury something for a bad day. Not for one moment, for any reason, they are disgusting. Referring to the backlash received on social media users, even some social media users, Thank you for hearing me, Hitmaker. Posted, forgive me, sometimes the Lord needs dirty workers. Get on from a bizarre social media activity. The Fire on Babylon singer he claimed. Actually, the God's remarks I made while angry and unwell about white people. They were not true at the time and they are not true now. I was figured out as all of Islamophobia dumped on me. I apologize for hurt, concern. Apologize for the hurt caused. That was one of many crazy tweets. Lord knows. Isn't she technically culturally appropriating Islam right now, though?
That would be cultural appropriation, wouldn't it?
Because Ireland's a fucking Catholic country, so therefore she's technically appropriating someone else's culture.
Yeah.
She's converting to religion that's not from the country that she's from. During a recent appearance on the Late Late Show, Sinead detailed her conversation. The conversion to Islam as, I never thought I'd join another religion. I left Islam till last night. I had so much prejudice about Islam, I read the first chapter. I read chapter 2 of the Quran and I realized I'm home and that I've been a Muslim all my life. There's a way of thinking. You can be Muslim without actually being a Muslim. No, you can't. You're either a Muslim or you're not. That's kind of how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Either you believe in Islam or you don't believe in Islam. There's no
story sounds nuts.
This story sounds what?
This story sounds nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the Daily Mail. So, a Muslim is someone who believes nothing should be worshipped except God. Well, not God, Allah, but then again, Allah's Arabic for God. So then, in the same way, I would have embraced Christianity. There's things I like and there's things I don't like. Things I can identify with and things I don't. Well, then you're not really a Muslim, then, are you? Isn't she a little girl on the head anyway? Well, yeah. Quite literally, I mean, she's bald. So, yeah. In late October, the mother of four, who has ordained as a priest by the traditionalist Catholic Friday movement in the 1990s, announced this is to announce that I'm proud I've become a Muslim. She added there is a natural conclusion of any intelligent theologian's journey. All scripture leads to Islam. All side of scripture leads to Islam, which makes other scriptures redundant. And I'll be giving a new name. It will be Shahada. The singer was given a first job by a friend Elaine and got killed all over her body when she put it on. And she said a long documented battle with mental health problems. She revealed she had been killed by a number of managers up some legal issues. She revealed she first attempted suicide in 1999 on her very third birthday. On the 11th, in October 2007, she had been diagnosed with bipolar. 4 years later, she had a number of stints in rehab facilities across the U.S. Former rock fan last year claimed her late mother was possessed and repeatedly sexually abused her as a child. Yeah. A member of her family reported her missing in 2016. With fears she was suicidal, she was found in her Chicago hotel room. In recent years, she has largely stayed away from her native island with her 4 children. Wilson, Shani, and they live in favor of the U.S.
Oh, that explains so much, though.
Well,
She's been suicidal several times in her life, and has tried to commit suicide. Somebody got a hold of her and said, "Suicidal? Have we got a religion for you? Do
Just
you like
fucking
vests?"
hell.
I'm going to go ahead and disavow that one too.
Yeah, same here. The opinions expressed on failing at reading the news do not necessarily affect the opinions of those of the host. Racist.
It's not race; it's a religion.
And according to a lot of other people, it's racist, though.
True, but
Anyway, moving on.
I'll back you up, trucker.
I'm just sitting there chuckling at it myself.
I know.
Yeah, not much.
Anyway, Donald Trump cancelled planning. Please keep in mind this is a family-friendly channel. Please keep language at appropriate levels. Yes. Donald Trump cancelled Taliban over bombing after bombing killed U.S. soldier. Donald Trump has says he's scrapped a meeting he had planned with the Taliban at Camp David after the group admitted to a car bombing that killed a U.S. soldier. The U.S. president was due to meet with members of the Taliban from Afghanistan on the weekend, retreat in Maryland. He tweeted, the meeting was scheduled to take place this weekend, just days before the 9/11 anniversary on Wednesday. But a trademark Twitter on yesterday, the president hit out with the Taliban after admitting they carried out a car bomb attack in Kabul on Thursday. So you can see why he tried to meet with them. If this was like some kind of peace you could get to, but clearly they were obviously not interested in peace whatsoever. He said on Saturday, unbeknownst to almost everyone, the major Taliban leaders and separately the president of Afghanistan are going to meet secretly at Camp David on Sunday. They were coming to the US tonight. Unfortunately, in order to build false leverage, they admitted to an attack in Kabul. It killed one of the great soldiers and 11 other people. I immediately cancelled the meeting and called off peace negotiations. And what kind of people would kill so many in order to strengthen their bargaining position?
Well, I just kind of realized something interesting.
What?
Well, Donald Trump was saying, unbeknownst to everybody, we were supposed to have this secret meeting. Well, since he fired that chick a couple weeks ago, there really had, up until that point, this would have been all over the news that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
If they cannot agree to a ceasefire during these very important peace talks, what would even kill 12 innocent people? And they probably don't have the power to negotiate a meaningful agreement anywhere. How many more decades are they willing to fight? Well, they're willing to fight until they lose, that's fine. So there's absolutely none of them left. It's all fighting after that.
That's the thing about Islam. It's a religion that's been around for just as long as Christianity. So, how long are those religions going to be around? You know what I mean?
Mr. Trump is on the press to end American involvement after he pleaded to withdraw the remaining 13,000 to 14,000 troops from Afghanistan. The Taliban and Al-Qaeda leaders, including Osama bin Laden, who were responsible for atrocity that killed 3,000 people in New York and Washington, on the 11th of September 2001. More than 2,400 US troops have been killed in the resulting conflict in Afghanistan. The recent talks between US and Afghan officials and Taliban leaders have looked to end deadly 18-year conflict. I mean, at least he tried. He tried to get
Yeah.
peace talks and failed. See if there was at least like some kind of compromise they could come up with, but clearly not. And the car bomb blast near the U.S. embassy this week.
Instead of blatant bribes, his predecessor did.
And then bombed them afterwards.
Well, there was the whole stacks of cash thing, you know.
And the car bomb blast near the U.S. embassy this week killed 10 civilians, an Armenian service member, and a U.S. soldier. Sergeant L.S.A. Barato Ortiz, 34. He's the fourth U.S. service member to be killed in the past week in the past 2 weeks in Afghanistan. The U.S. State Department, White House, and Taliban have declined to comment on the meeting and Trump's tweets. Is that a thing, though, isn't it? They have to be comment about Trump's Twitter, is it? The Afghan government said in a statement, "We have always said that real peace will come when the Taliban stops killing Afghans." I never meant a ceasefire. They start direct negotiations with the Afghan government. The government of Afghanistan appreciates the sincere efforts of allies in peace, and is committed to working with the U.S. and other allies in the future to bring sustainable peace. So there's no working with peace. There's no making peace with people that want to get complete control. That's the trouble there.
Do.
Bum, bum, bum.
Sorry if anyone's still here. I saw this earlier. It made no fucking sense to me.
Very little makes sense to me these days. So we're good.
Yeah, it's all confusing.
Linda Sarsour emerges as surrogate for Sanders' 2020 presidential campaign.
Yeah, and that just guaranteed that Sanders won't get elected.
Even the people who are on her side don't like her.
That anti-Semitic chick.
Yeah, the one who said a couple women, you know, she's a feminist, but the women that disagree with her don't deserve vaginas.
And she also supports Sharia law.
Yeah.
Yes, because women should stay in the kitchen, chained to the fridge.
I'm all for women's rights. Support Sharia law. Where's the law? I really don't get it. Now, this is not a good endorsement. Palestinian American activist endorses progressive Democratic candidate, saying she'd be proud to make history and elect America's first Jewish president. Despite the fact you hate Jews.
Semantics.
I mean, apparently this one's not a termite, according to her.
Yeah, no, people don't like me doing semantics, but hey, she hates Jews. Political activist Linda Sarsour has been named a surrogate for Bernie Sanders' U.S. 2020 presidential campaign. Sarsour, a Palestinian American who is supported the boycott, divestment, and sanctions against Israel, spoke on behalf of Sanders over the weekend in Brooklyn, New York. In a video excerpt of the speech. Tweeted by the campaign, she is identified as a civil rights activist. 2020 Bernie surrogate. Also, as like ISIS American political wing. At the time of startling rise in of white nationalism and anti-Semitism, I'd be proud to win, and also to make this history and elect the first Jewish American president in this country. And for his name to be Bernard Sanders. Sanders says in the video. This is just to try and make us look good, isn't it? See, I don't really hate Jews. I want a Jewish person to be president. Even though you want Israel to be destroyed.
Yeah. Actually, Tom, I would say that Ilhan Omar is the America's ISIS representative. You know, except for the fact that she married her brother and then cheated on her second husband. Yeah.
Isn't that punishable by death in Islam?
Yeah. Well, except for the whole marrying her brother thing, that's probably not. It's only legal. It's only legal in Islam and Arkansas. I'm going to go ahead and disavow myself on that one. Thank you.
Yeah, you probably should.
Yeah, and it's not for the Islam thing. I couldn't give a rat's ass. Couldn't care me or not, but you know, hundreds and thousands of Alabamans, you know, getting mad because I'm sitting there insulting, you know, their way of life.
It's their cousins, not their brothers.
No, what the cousins is West Virginia.
Oh.
In a more than 20-minute long excerpt, Sarsar says that Sanders believes in a foreign policy that sees Palestinians as human and deserving of rights and self-determination. The candidate does not ask how much foreign healthcare and higher education will cost. Probably because the only people who don't believe deserve. Because only people who don't believe we deserve these things will ask how much. Even things like healthcare. Never ask us how we pay for endless and unjust wars. No. Just no. I mean, these people don't want their fucking taxes increased. They don't want the country to get into more debt. And many people who say things like this are also people that don't support war, so go fuck yourself. Sarah is a co-founder of the Women's March, but has lost the support of some Jewish women after she accused of allowing anti-Semitism to pervade the movement and marginalize Jewish women, and failed to condemn a Nation of Islam leader, Louis Farrakhan, for his anti-rhetoric. Sanders calls himself proudly Jewish and as a critic of Benjamin Netanyahu's right-wing government, particularly his treatment of Palestinians. That was less biased than I was expecting. I thought the Times of Israel to be biased towards Israel, but yeah, we've lost Green Thunder.
Uh-oh.
He says, be right back. Fair enough. College student charged of hate crime for hanging noose in campus elevator.
I think we covered that one, didn't we?
I didn't. Well, I think I might have done, but I didn't. It's new to my channel, so I'm playing it. No, I didn't cover that. Matt Blango may have covered it, but I never covered it. Suppose some stories of a preacher of hardcore Islam and hardcore feminism at the same time. Proof there is no hypocrisy there. Absolutely none. Campus student has been charged with felony for lying noose on a campus elevator. Andrew Smith, 19, was arrested on Monday after police say he fastened a piece of rope in a noose, then hung it on an elevator at the residence hall of the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign campus. Female friends reportedly with Smith at the time and later told police after the noose was found by students on early Sunday morning. This is a hate crime, though. How is this in any way possibly a hate crime? I fail to see why. Smith has since not pled guilty and was released on a $5,000 bail according to the Chicago Tribune. He's due back on court on the 22nd of October. This is not the first racially aggravated incident at Illinois University. Earlier this year, a lawsuit was filed by black employees who said they had been subjected to racial slurs and threats, including nooses, KKK, garb, and racist graffiti, and Confederate sign. So I'm telling the story behind the news because I don't get that. I don't get how that's a hate crime. Hello? Oh, okay. Dead zone.
Sorry. Wrong button.
Okay.
It's considered a hate crime because the noose scares people.
Is that
That's really about it. I mean, yeah.
how's it considered racist though? I mean, it's just a noose.
It's the whole thing where they sit there and do the whole, well, nooses used to hang blacks from it.
Yeah, but they're also used like for public executions.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It's selective outrage of what they want to get upset over. That's all it is. I mean, that's what it has been for some time. I mean, yeah.
Black students recently expressed outrage towards the university, which they said needs to be tougher on hate crime and publicized incidents of racism. In a joint statement from student groups, Black Students for Evolution and Black United Front students asked the university to review its discipline policies for perpetrators of racial hatred and making all racial incidents public. Kayla Stewart, a student and member of Black Students for Revolution, told Will Illinois Public Media, "We don't want to be hidden from campus, hidden from the students, hidden from the campus. We need to know about these things. We need to know about the kind of climate and the students of color, especially Black students, are dealing with while they're on campus. So it's just a question of, is the university willing to protect and make Black students feel comfortable and safe on campus?" On Wednesday, Will Illinois reported that Smith was no longer enrolled at the school. An official did not comment whether he had been expelled. And he probably was for doing pretty much nothing. I really don't see how that's offensive. But maybe that's just me. I don't know.
I think a lot of it goes to the whole offenses taken, not given.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, notice notice how the article's sitting there saying, they're not saying anything about it to make the kids feel safe, but they're saying they did whatever with him, but they're not saying anything past that. They're not saying why he did it. For all we know, I don't know, hold up like his luggage or something. Who the hell knows?
He might have been suicidal.
He might have been. I mean, with that schnoz he's got, I'd be suicidal too. I'll go ahead and disavow myself on that again.
I think that can be interpreted as anti-Semitic.
I really doubt that.
It's an overstreet, but someone might say that.
Yeah. I really doubt that he is, but
I'm saying someone can consider that
I don't know.
anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Either way, he gets an erection, walks into a door, and breaks his nose. All right, I'm shutting up now. I'm being an asshole today.
Scientists want creationism teaching ban in Welsh schools. You can tell it starts to run out of news now. And the teaching of creationism could creep into schools under new curriculum, scientists have said. Signed by 46 individuals and organisations, including Sir David Attenborough, asked the Welsh government to implicitly ban the teaching of creationism as science. I don't think they should ban one either way. I think they should just.
They shouldn't. Either one should, whether it's evolution or creationism, they need to specify that either, both, or neither. I mean, they just need to specify that they're both theories, that neither one of them has been definitively proven. I mean, even when it comes to evolution, there are gaps.
Yeah, they should teach both, and then they should teach both, and then let the kids make up their own decisions.
Yeah. Or teach both and show how both are actually relative to each other.
I just say let the kids make up their own decisions.
That is true.
It's not for the school to say what's right or wrong.
Right. Well, take the formation of the Earth into as we know it now. It took 6 million years, give or take a couple millennia. Where in the Bible it says 6 days. Well, for all we know, old Pastor Rottencrotch over there was right. And just how
the Big Bang. And God could have caused the Big Bang and indirectly created the Earth.
Right. So, we could have been wrong all this time. So not our place to say one way or the other what somebody else should believe.
Yeah.
Be nice if we could explain that if just talking to somebody about it would help the explanation, but yeah. Anyway.
Organised by campaign group Humanist UK. It also calls for primary schools to be taught about evolution. So I don't have that problem with that, but don't get rid of creationism either, because you can't rule it out. Welsh government expects all pupils to be taught evolution. The new curriculum will be rolled out from September 2022. So there's 6 broad areas of learning and experience, including science and technology. A draft version published in April sets out what matters in each area and is to give teachers flexibility to decide on the details of how they want to cover them. But scientists including Richard Dawkins, Steve Jones, Alice Roberts have warned changes could increase the possibility of teaching creationism as science. So what? I mean, if you teach both of them, why does it matter? Just let the kids make up their own decisions.
Yeah.
The new science and technology area of learning experience doesn't implicitly prohibit setting creationism and other pseudoscience theories as evidence-based, and evolution is only mentioned once. And only at secondary level that the teacher said, the letter said, people should be introduced to it early, certainly at primary school level, as it underpins so much else. What's more, without an implicit ban on teaching creationism, intelligent design, and other pseudoscience theories, as evidence-based, such teaching may begin to creep into schools. Curriculum is what is vital. Children in Wales are not exposed to pseudoscientific doctrines masquerading as science. Well, that's not the school's job for that. Not the school's job. Well,
Funny part is this. I like how, you know, they're saying the scientific stuff needs to be taught to children early. Gee, that's the same thing that a lot of religious folks say. Huh. It's the exact same talking point. Just saying.
She said the approach in the draft curriculum could make it much easier for the schools, such as the religious school, to open to teach creationism as science. Well, that's their right, isn't it? And more than likely, if they're religious school, they're privately funded. Therefore, they can teach whatever religion they please.
Mm-hmm.
If they start to disbelieve that at a later age and learn more about evolution, then that's their choice. Because what you're doing in effect here is not doing any much better than what these people are doing.
Nope. You're giving them your opinion and leaving it at that.
Yeah. Welsh government spokesman said it is wholly incorrect to assume that evolution will only be introduced at 14 or 16. We believe providing children with an understanding of evolution at an early age will help lay foundations for a better understanding of wider scientific concepts later on. I don't know. B&B stays for homeless to be limited. Bed and breakfast stays for homeless to be limited to 7 days.
Do what?
A 7-day limit will be introduced on the use of temporary accommodation for homeless people in Scotland. This is stupid.
Wait, is this government funded stays at these places, or privately funded, or are they paying for it, or what?
The use of the limit will be. We'll see. The limit on spending time in unsuitable accommodation currently applies to families and pregnant women, but will be extended to everyone at risk of homelessness. But then, if you kick them out of wherever they're staying in after a week, then technically they are homeless themselves, aren't they? I mean,
yeah,
this is at risk of homelessness. Well, by doing this, you're then making them homeless, aren't you? How is this going to help anyone? At least the hostel or looking bed and breakfast, whatever, might not be great, but at least it gives them a roof over their head while they're trying to sort themselves out
Uh huh.
rather than sleeping on the streets. Charities have previously warned people who are living in bed and breakfast in hostel rooms for more than a year. Why is that a problem? It shouldn't be up to you. It should be up to the fucking owner of the person that owns the place. How long they want the person to stay there for.
Yeah. There are several hotels in America where there are people who have lived in those, individual hotel rooms for years. I mean, they've turned it into they're just flat out apartments at that point. So they've done it for years. They're not like the most outstanding citizens, but they ain't hurting anybody.
Yeah.
Hell, last month September, month and a half ago, when my wife and I went to the reservation, the hotel we stayed at the reservation, half the rooms were people who've lived there for 10 years.
And I'll never free clear. A great idea. Yeah. Exactly. And Hellington Pit.
Hello, gorgeous.
And the changes in regulations will take place in May 2021. The Scottish Government consultation on the change for 97% of respondents backed the move. Housing Minister Kevin Stewart said, "We know that people living in these unsuitable environments can too long often lack cooking and washing facilities. And some report they cannot have visits from family and friends. These experiences could have a detrimental effect on people's physical and mental well-being, preventing them from rebuilding their lives. Well, living on the street's not going to fucking do that, is it? Yeah.
I got a feeling they're kind of looking at a long-term goal on this. This is screaming long-term to me, where everybody's going to be thrown out onto the street, just so they can come in later and build shelters for them and seen as a savior.
Probably. And doing this doesn't help anybody.
No.
Like a week, if you've got like a lot of shit going on, like a week's not a long time to sort your stuff out. It's really not. Well, temporary accommodation can offer an important emergency safety net for anyone that finds themselves homeless, such as fleeing domestic violence. It's really a temporary measure. Yeah, but not that fucking temporary. Jesus Christ. A week? Is that it?
Yeah. Between that, on top of that, it's not your it's not your decision to make if they're living in an unsafe environment. It's theirs.
Yeah, exactly. It's better than being on the fucking street.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'd be living on the street instead of living there.
If it's a place, yeah. If it's accommodations that they're paying for to stay, if they find it suitable for their needs, it's nobody's business if it should be decided by someone else if it's suitable or not.
Yeah, exactly. And if anyone wants them to leave, it should be up to the owner whether they leave or not.
Yeah.
Mr. Stewart said the Scottish Government was investing $32.5 million in supporting local authorities to prioritise settled accommodation for all. Latest government figures show that over 36,000 people asked them to help them find a home from their local council, 3% in the previous year. It's the second year It's in the second year applications have risen after a period of consistent decline since 2005 or 6. Figures also showed increasing numbers of people were also staying in a temporary accommodation such as B&Bs. Well, I'd rather that than living on the fucking street. There were a total of 620 breaches of the rules on suitable accommodation offered to vulnerable people or families, and an increase of 225 compared with the previous year. See, if it's deemed unsuitable accommodation, then how are they allowed to operate anyway? By their own logic.
Nah.
Hello, Mr. Dax. Because by their own logic, they shouldn't be allowed to operate if it's deemed unsuitable for people to stay in. A total of 460 of these were in Edinburgh. John Sparks, chief executive of a homeless charity, Christie said, "We strongly welcome the announcement that the Scottish Government will change the law so that people will no longer have to live in the most unsuitable forms of temporary accommodation for more than 7 days." Yeah, but the trouble with that is you haven't offered a fucking solution, have you?
Nope.
Like,
Only rhetoric.
We don't want people staying in here, but we don't actually have a backup plan to whether they're actually going to go after they get kicked out of there. This is stupid. This marks a major achievement for our Life Limbo campaign, a 3-year project that has put an end to lengthy and dehumanizing stays in unsupported hostels, hotels, and bed and breakfasts, while offering no fucking alternative. The decision is a recognition of vows to resolve our clients to shine a light on the inhumane conditions that they were experiencing and the determination to ensure no one else is subjected to these prolonged stays. Okay. See how that's going to work out for you. You're just going to end with more homeless people on the fucking streets.
Mm-hmm.
7 days in unsuitable accommodation, right? Back on the streets, making them start seem better. Sounds about right. Yeah, just offering no. Anyway, should we end this thing actually? There's no other interesting stuff to talk about. So anyway, we're going to the show before we go.
Just 10 a.m. on my channel for another episode of Fallout New Vegas.
Back to the usual place for me, Springfield, Pennsylvania tomorrow. Not sure what time I'm starting.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes. Anyway, stream same time tomorrow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Felix says he'll be streaming in about 5 years. 5 years.
I'll make sure to remember that. I'll put that on my Google Calendar.
Yeah, so he'll be streaming about fucking
2024.
Yeah. I look forward to that. 8th September 2024 is when Crypto's going to do its stream. Fair enough. Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. Well, you're all a bunch of cunts. Goodbye.
Bye.
Later.